praising the man, President John Dramani Mahama over the CDs. Dabionye. Anunti anybody who come on Sasana. Anybody come on with the issue of retail. I need your Kobenina. What's here? And I want it. Won't see a mechanical. Jack, put a fire wild. I was so can't fire wild. Maakye say na said you a home my Ghana for so move by Jake. Over 70% when it comes to training in this country. Mafani na getting is why I can't zoom by Jake. Yempene cry. Anybody come on. Many a Mr. Benjamin Techi Ado Communications Director Maya Boso Kind Spare Parts Dealers Association. What I say about being come on, I share the airport. But I sign on Bay Port. Some men can't just say Uguswa and the fixed deposit campaign. I didn't know. Can who say Sikebi da Hona fine she says here? What don't Sabaki can? When you Sikebi and says Sanka to a woman war, Mepacho, only a Bay Port Financial Services winning common number should be Bibia Kuyama. I don't know. Some men can't just look at 1,000 Ghana, 10,000 Ghana city. Sorry. Now the brand of Afiba Kwa on Sabeka 1,750 Ghana cedis. Sasana Uka 20,000 Ghana cedis. Now the brand of Busumi Sian on Sabeka 1,570 Ghana cedis. Sasana Uka 50,000 Ghana cedis. Afiba Kwa Jack on Sabeka 8,750 Ghana cedis as interest. Now when you have now the 100,000 that come on one. Afiba Kwa Bema Ubenya 17,500 as interest. Won't pay when after the game. From Mr. Bonnie, on any junior manager now. I may your Bayport Financial Services. Oh, friend, and on a Casano Akacha and say, Open so by a fixed deposit in the 0245 153 283 and after to 020 412 5878. Now, no more didn't come on. Sasana make a choice. Sika yede ekoye issues of a collateral okope business na wunye bi na ye bibia wo ho make a show yenko eclipse collateral management for no mun godin komo south na wukra ye property ejapade ho krata ye tie ni say ye papa ye krojin ko ade woni eclipse collateral management for godin komo no metima ma ye wo krata no awo sika ma wo bedidi what two houses said you Bibian Shadanko you know. Eclipse collateral management some can say Ukra property bisa Fabra. Omri by a Juma now when you can project. Most of them here collateral now with a year Juma. What you who drink quite a bit faster when you be now that quite a year Juma. Now they share a year a Juma minute to my corner. If I turn eclipse collateral phone couldn't come on. Omo a year medimosis in Chemu Hawa Denta Barrier. And as I said, West African SHS, one on home pay no more bang. 054-383-2466. Now when the Eclipse collateral management for Indian come on. It is 7:43. I will air the studios of Kessben 92.9 and I face so Kessben TV and then on your friend is saying DSTV channel 364 and I face so on your Go TV channel 121. Honum Yina wonsa ebeka again e wo hono memo ache wa wo hwe me Kessben TV so medin de o manso for Kojo Preko Dankwah ye hwe dwumagina ase na fe ye nko ne nkodi nkomo bi na last week na omampanyini ene media ni share that media encounter na ye share enema bebre na apiepie mu topical ones na ye be yigi ni kakra ne edi hu nkomo ne expand issues ni nyina ayie. Last week, I didn't come off a galamsey of which I bet was so because anti-galamsey for no take action right after the encounter with Omampeni ama Enyema na ofuse edida kwemo bema akoyie no eguso akoyie ntine na ebedi hu nkomo yie pa. But one of the critical ones epesi edi hu nkomo sisi and has to do with rent and landlords. And then when you say be able landlords for echi na mom they are nemesi kono ano odin yie pa. President ATA media no one question if ye nua ba ko ho ebaye efa rent ho na fe so proper affordable housing omampanyin ene na ban esese omo hwe na omutumi eboama yesu enyebi na yede titu baabi no and on come on and everybody nkomo sisia no but yebedi nkomo sisia but answer na ma menko humano so na minchia the Secretary General National Tenants Union of Ghana Ora Frederick Opoku humano so ma minchia ni wie na fe yen share dwumedie na so Ora Frederick Maakye eba essbenMaakye so on Kessben TV and afiso 92.9 FM.
Kojo me do so morning
bibi aboko there.
Na me na don kaka Kojo.
And everything come on because me free a year to me or say me for 1 year right me nya ye dey be asem but jina suma me wahu na yen share what really transpired media encounter no just about last week bra Abu Bedin ye sister ebisa sa question no ema mampanyi eyi ano no yentie na fe member osu sisia. Okay.
The biggest expenditure in any Ghanaian's budget is rent. And even though we have laws, enforcing them has been difficult. The rent law says that a landlord cannot charge more than 6 months. But the problem in enforcing the law is the connivance of the tenant and the landlord. The tenant won't come and report that they're charging him 1 year's rent advance because he wants the room. And so that has been the problem. And the problem is because our population is growing beyond our housing capacity. So the competition for accommodation and housing is very strong. And that is why we must expand our housing coverage. And I remember in our manifesto, we have a pledge to expand housing. And in the next budget, we're going to make provision for that. I've already had a discussion with some of the associations, the organized labor associations. Some of them have funds that are sitting in their accounts. And they have members who want houses. So what I've said is government will match their funds. And so if they give 1 billion cedis, we will give 1 billion cedis. And then one of the banks, Republic Bank, has said that they are willing to also match with 1 billion cedis. So if we get a 3 billion cedi fund, we can start building houses in all the districts. And as people pay their down payments, it will go back into the fund and it will become a revolving fund. And governments can give it to people. I said if you have like about 15 to 20 years before retirement, you can take a house and we'll be deducting from your salary monthly so that by the time your retirement time is up, you have your own accommodation to go to. And as we take those deductions, they will go back into the fund. So it becomes like a revolving fund so that we can increase the housing stock. But the Minister of Finance will talk about that when he reads the budget.
Okay, inti omampanyi answer or the MI when it comes to rent issues, and so accommodation in the country, and who enkomo and baby this is here. And to Frederick, me sure say what's your president. First off, maybe so your impression about President Niansa. No, are you satisfied with President Niansa Nana?
Yo, Kojo, medawase mefa akonya iso na machia Kessben machia tiefo na mede asida kese so ama wona ohan dan wo man mu okwati team no hamu oman wodin so na yemu bi the national tenant of Ghana yeni akonya ye kesai Kojo di kan say wa utie the president kana say the national tenant of Ghana no a bit disappointed, very very disappointed. First of all, Mwaya you John Dramani Mahama or my penny Edibaye no. Na Mikase ye disappointed na in one in say. Say o my mu say one of the biggest problems so for the cost of rent. Any subambi landlord for then a D of late. Any sometime be a chemu. Na matimamu foko ahunye hiemu any ahuchemu no. We were thinking, say, the president, because answer should have been reassuring. But unfortunately, look at it, say, the usual old things like promises and for the small people, no. Oh, share answer and I say, Moya, you are John Domani Mahama de Baina. I come here, say, about only 1% of the population. 1% of the population, a year, or pension, whatever, our old pension fund. Now, question is, nipa to do na omo pension fund bi wo ho a ombenya ho faso entina ka me ko say in some you grant o ma kan ye a manifesto any you could share as a national tenant of Ghana before ever to abandon. A manager bo. Now you expect to say or my assurance say Rana any juma am a rent control to me juma be a rent control I toothless bulldog. Or muntimin car intimidation. I'm a landlord for a TT to my phone with my address. But unfortunately no, what you President Mahama was a connivance. I can't say landlord and tenant for a nakrana and omoye bibi na MTF omuyenu. But don't forget to say rent no you less supply. It think also work as a million money Mahama presidency. Many so they would say Michelle Bosse, making low cost housing. Na maybe amanasu biaso and yet a segment of the population. Na uja yura jo Mahama any ni muayena. E kana kwese the informal sector one on the wunya on the adwuma bia yeti omo akɔnya pension pay bia for mortgage no omo nka ho bi omo ye almost about 99% of the population na omo nya ba bi nda ene na yura Mahama na ansa na address ayi fi say no man ko yi na fi say bia say ye born in kaye say bia ni refi kakra ye ka no bosha o share ye tenant union bosha o share one on hand dan na no ye wenzo mama ehu say the issue is bigger than that. And more to the point, where he's the president and the back stops at him. Therefore, he cannot be part of the blame game of landlord tenant or who does what. He must fix the situation, fix the matter, and let the team work for Obia Hontono. We will go do.
Frederick, one thing that the president said, before say even tenants and I say yes, tenants union for SSM Moshe Namoso Moma Juma has to do with one of the things that or breaking the ice on. Or say, in as much as Sebi Yen Gigi 1 year, no, the same tenants, echo a landlord for no while because they want these bill friends and dining, they don't even fight for the 6 months. Or yet a landlord nekas 1 year, they still pay, and the clause or kind is they don't report. And if someone reported there, how do you expect the law to work?
Kojo, with that question, who is the tenant? One tenant. You are prospective tenant and you are tenant. You don't say, oh my mono, a dark quatry. A dying a buying CB, no dia high. And you will be the city dying and I'll be. Until say, or beg you can only a tenant too. It took also so about 3 years and went to me. Oko report to say, Odoka. What all day?
On the Okadia, but the point is that SSO just 6 months. It is also when him catch us 1 year. I didn't need to report this and
let us a law. Contact. New contact. Over dying. We see it baby I say, Mama reported landlord will say also Benjamin say. And there will be no contract. I'm ready to me allowed on who did. The point is, so what you feeling? Ebia what one or two was a medicine, any different matter. But a dana could be how come to me report?
No, but Freddie Tobomame. This is a landlord we see the boss me see dime, me person me rent it. That in itself tells you so or your business, right?
Yes.
There's a decision that the landlord has taken, say on no property no or person or they high. It means that automatically the mere fact of workers or the high no, he falls within the tenancy law. Now, a war honum na you say the year Juman watum already. It is a mebana so catch him say only me new contract from the pre because me nje dan po ye dia. Now only a tenants only in dini ye na is a mon shada MYO because who person chese say me je dan ni wie na se nipa kono be catch me say bia mejo 1 year and some me hu se me ni wo contractor. As only and can you anambwa.
Yes, Kojo, Manuka, let me be very frank here and let's call it speed. Kojo, your rent control department of Ghana.
Yes.
According to rent laws, no. And what the landlord be at me register the tenancy, meboa.
Good.
They told you, landlord will be in your corner or my say, or no one can class at Tony Damumpo. Sorry, I'm not aware.
Sure.
Unless say the rent control no by assessment. For example, your landlord for the past 20 years on painting data. For the last 10 years on to cement that. For the last 20 years on to iron rose that. And so the say you to iron rose more cemetery at Matumi Demu. Why? How is the rent control regulating them? So with the assembly rent control, say rent control, the patrol, them, tenants want to be does the rent control able to regulate the matter to make sure say, that's the question. So government and the president, President Kubuta say, rent control, because he is the president. And for that matter, he has a responsibility to fix the situation in rent control. Over the years, and on the national tenure of Ghana have described rent control as a toothless bulldog. They describe rent control as incapable of doing their work. They describe rent control as incompetent and efficient. They describe rent control that it must be scrapped because it doesn't have any usefulness as of now. Has the president thought of thinking, say, maybe I ain't able to because fixing rent control because rent control problem now. Rent control doesn't have resources. The president assure us, say, I'm going to make sure that rent control will be fixed. What can I now? So the president was not in reality. It was not in reality. The president will do a blame game, and for that matter, he cannot pick and choose where he feels comfortable in his question. What we are saying is that the president promised Ghanaians to bring low-cost housing. The president promised Ghanaians to say, Obama review the rent law now over the years. Kwame Nkrumah pen 60 years, I had cakes and Obama review. Now, Kojo, if you remember, recently, the 2023 rent bill in local parliament, Omo kan ba kon, Omo kan yinu, Omo kan miensa, minu Omo boto kon ye, Omo pass it. Rent law don't review because there's a loophole. There's a lacuna in the rent law. The president should now be thinking, say, I have two-thirds majority in parliament. They say, President Mama bet Mama or bad than Bima, or Ghana. Or bet Mama Bima than or bad because in parliament, the majority, whole majority. So the president can do everything. It's not about talking. It's not about creating headlines for anything. The president must do what's expected of him. But the can say, President Mama has a lot to do to fix the housing. He also alluded, say, housing, it costs a lot of money in the people's pocket. So therefore, so what he must do, he must fix the situation. Housing is equally important as roots. Housing is equally important than anything that the president wants to do. Therefore, it shouldn't be a small group of people say, but it should be a platform of which man using to assure Ghanaians. But I can tell you, President Mohammed's answering the question is not assuring at all. But I am urging the president that this time around, the Ghana tenant union, we're not going to sit down for us to be blamed as if we are not doing anything or we don't care, we don't have the strength or the bargaining power. But I can assure the president that we will keep on to dialogue with the president, we will dialogue with the minister. For the meantime, Minister for Housing. Honestly, for that one, I think the president has made a very good appointment. Ever since the president, his relationship with the tenant in Ghana is exceptional. It is a say, oh man, yes, na young queen, na in the intimate one and dialogue. Because say, he became a reminder of no mind what is this. But as I know, what I can tell you, say, President Mahama answer it is cute, biased. It is not for the masses, it's not for the informal sector, it's for the formal sector of the workers who work and they are paid monthly. Those who do not pay, who do not earn any income, who don't have any pension fund sitting somewhere, they are not part of it. This is a clear answer to the question the president answered. And for us, we are worried. I don't think it doesn't fall within what we are expecting at all.
Okay, so basically, you are saying, sir, the National Tenants Union of Ghana, you speak for the informal sector, but clearly the informal sector you're talking about, clearly, what you can say informal. So informal, there, Sebi, Musikano is not controlled by anyone, and you'll be a shame so when it comes to how more control Musikano. And until say for granted, poster you see a dying SCC honum proper your friends affordable houses are. The informal person now only streamlined in terms of accessibility and as a control no. Say nipa ko so betimi akwa tobi and I say obetimi choose say bia mentor and I say bibi. I think say we should rather balance it and make it more accessible for everyone, whether formal or informal. Because the way I know OC Canon, yes, he spoke with the former one saying, oh yeah, Juma, that's a I mean, a quantity you see, as a sort of faso. but the informal one, no, you are bringing his attention to it. But the informal guys in Ankasa should also understand, say, any man, very informal. They needs to be shaped, and then they need to also then probably
Kojo, maybe that question. Answer this with Babwamia. Uko bank financial institutions. Omo muton bodo bodo yama mu bank yama muska.
Yama muska, yes.
Yenidi.
Aye, JJ.
So what is it? So when the government become a lazy government, using a lazy way of solving problems, this is what you see.
No, na say okay say me kwaji loan. For instance, multi credit savings and loans for what? You need to be fast so you be just kind of film hono because you me my address, you me BBA. Na my fast so na me dey tuya. What you say?
Kojo, listen. Don't let us try to make this thing difficult for people to understand. Me say, the government has a responsibility to say he came for all people. Therefore, they must find solution to ensure that put a Ghana one address, digital address and what have you. The government should find ways and means because recently, okay, Omo launched the national rental assistance scheme. We are aware. You go for the rents. Omo launched scheme, the national rental assistance scheme. And that scheme, Omo launch no. As I know, say. In fact, the tenants have called for you to be withdrawn for whatever reasons. You look at it, say policy baby, I don't know. For only 1% population numbers, the 97 and you. So how can you survive? How can you make how can you bring peace? If you plan and you think, say, the easy way for me to get my money is to look at the former. But 99% now, how can you behave like that? Look, the government should go into mass low-income housing. So that you don't say category in way, category A, category B. But you cannot use any lazy jack say hold open and do for the.
No, but I'm sure they do. I think last previous government they did something of that nature where they really wanted to do this housing affordability for everybody. And I'm
what is affordable? I don't know how much you pay it. Do you know how much you pay for the so-called affordability? Is it for rent?
But how affordable do you want houses to be affordable? Tell me.
Okay, look. You're going to be social housing. Let me take and educate the public. Let me be social housing. Social housing is a housing for the poor, housing for the vulnerable, housing for the aged, housing for the sick. And that must be done and prioritized by government, not any private sector. Therefore, the government has a responsibility to say, so guys, a Dankwah to Ghana, you will Timamuphobia said can look, the government is a government because of the people. There is no president or government saying I'm a president because I came because of my own. If 99% of your population is sleeping outside, then what kind of government are you? What kind of initiative are you bringing? If your people, 99% of people don't have a place to sleep, they cannot afford. They are suffering. What kind of government are you? We are saying, the priority must be housing. The amount of money recently was so look, housing is also important. How much is the government putting in a big push agenda in housing? They don't even want to commit to housing. Why? According to Abraham Maslow, one of the basic needs of life is housing. Why are government come and go not interested in investing in housing? How much is the budget for housing? What are the programs? What are the milestones? What do they want to achieve in housing? You see, if you don't put pressure on this government, one day we will all go to people on the streets, trust me, because they are not ready and willing at all to do anything about housing. But it's like joke. It's like we are joking. We are just giving them. They talk about it. We don't even take them to account. They come and promise and go free of charge. When they come, they don't joke with education. They don't joke with rules. But housing is nothing. But one of the biggest issues that eat into the budget of the Ghanaian, our President Mahama Aludu, is housing. So what is the roadmap for Mahama in housing? That's the question I'm asking. So the truth is that housing is a big problem. So who you know mommy and say anything or Ghana ha? So we said who you baby Naya, don't think about education. Education is secondary. And housing is physiological. It's basic. How do you think about it?
No, I get it because even when President was answering the question, he really, emphasized that it is one of the key things when it comes to budget and everything when it comes to rent and all that. So I think the President admits the fact that one of the major problems, and he even went further to even tell all of us in the next government, they will speak to it when it comes to budget and all that. But I recall that last previous government, National Rental Assistance Scheme was on. Line Chema, I'm sure so we'll call it. Did you really, get what it is that you needed at what that particular scheme in the manner?
Let me be very frank you. I've told you, sir, government come and go always try to come up with a Ponzi schemes. And in fact, before me introduce, no consultation with the shareholders or the stakeholders, rather. They did not consult. They sat down and did their own thing. Unfortunately, I'm going to invite the National Talent of Ghana because of a year we couldn't do anything than to go and support it. But we were quick to warn them, say it shouldn't be as usual, business as usual, whereby it's going to be favoritism, nepotism, and decimisms. But they must do what is needful. As we speak, the National Talent of Ghana, the Minister for Housing, Works and Housing, should immediately hold on with the rental assistance scheme because it has not achieved its goal. And now on review, now from back. We admit it's a very good thing. However, by the ongoing, the way it is being implemented, it is not in the only
How is it implemented? Because it looks as if subsequent government comes in, they give, a solution to solve or halfway solve the problem, but we still come back to the same governments that come into power and then tell them, said, I didn't want their ban and shut down Koye. Particularly, let's discuss this one just about a minute or so. The National Rental Assistance, how is it done now and how do you want it to be done?
Okay, Kojo, one, you are aware, sir, Ghana has more than 6 months. Are you aware?
Yes, and that is what the president hit on.
The National Rent Assistance Scheme gives 2 years rent advance. Are you aware?
You are telling us.
I am telling you, that's a fact.
Okay, so hold on. Oma 2 year advance, right?
Yes.
Which is a breach. Hold on, wait, which is a breach of the law.
Exactly.
Okay, so if it is a breach of the law, from that time till now, why haven't we raised it to make noise about it to stop it?
Look, I can assure you that the National Talent, we believe in dialogue. We don't believe in jumping to the streets. Number one, that is why you don't see us making noise and cladding in red. But I am telling you, even if you can confirm from the new minister, Kenneth Ade, we have met him. We have written a petition to the minister as we speak. The minister has called those who are working on it. I am aware, and the minister is working on it to take action immediately. That is how we should dialogue.
No, take action out to halt it.
To review. For example, Kojo, are you aware that it was a pilot project? It wasn't for final implementation. And that's so.
Yes, I'm aware on the pilot project.
Out of the 60 regions, only 6 regions have benefited for the past 4 years. Is it fair?
So, but you just said a pilot. We all agreed it was a pilot.
And I'm saying, do you do pilot for 4 years?
And for 4 solid years, we are now talking about it, giving it to the now government to halt it.
I told you there, if you can confirm it,
because I know said 31st January 2023 in the launch here, yes.
But if you consult Minister for Bantama,
yes,
and the former Minister for Housing,
yes,
if you consult with Kenneth Ade, even last week I was with him to get a response from him because I have told him that things are not going well. It is the minister should work around, investigate the matter, and possibly suspend it so that he can reintroduce it. After all the 16 regions, in Ghana for the scheme cannot be done for only 6 regions for 4 years. That is not right. So we are giving about 6 reasons why the rent assistance scheme should be suspended and reintroduced, or it should be done in such a way, say, people pay Okodilo now. Are you aware, say, you pay 100 Ghana cedis, not refundable? And if, for example, 10,000 people and I apply, that's the area 2,000 in 9,000 or 100 Ghana not refundable. Is it not Ponzi?
No, hold on. I mean, a proxy because of but how do you want it to be done now? What's your proposal?
Okay, the point is that Kojo, they should first of all do proper consultation. Who get pilot? 4 years is too much. Just hold on a month or two. Review, go to the table. What went wrong? What didn't go wrong? I have many times outlined, come up to so many things that I think is not going well.
Yes, so give us one. I mean, one. What would you think say it should be done?
We think that first of all, they should make it in such a way, say the informal sector. Majority of them now say on the direct pay, mobile marketing and direct, in such a way, say you better put the system, no will be to benefit. According to what they are implementing, we will soon move cry a bit, mama, which is not true. They are made in such a way, say you will be a baby. Now, informal sector because I'm so a bit much of Mumoso. Said okay, say maybe get me the Mumu. That's a who is cat director. We don't have a man. The man source income source than the Mumu because the net. We Mumu to be that so it's maybe the business. If they don't, look at things they are just using it to help only those who are in the formal sector.
But do you realize? It is a huge investment when it comes to housing. So, for instance, a bank comes in to say, "I'm giving $1 billion to build houses for informal sector." Then I don't know how I'm going to get my money back to reinvest again. So, for instance, remember, hold on. So, even if I'm going to go below, down to the extreme, say, so which is also what previous government told us. It's also even a banking account that ye be. Now, for informal sector, no me abosumi asuna me kwa kotia. I am not getting anything from the money inside that. Even the MTN we loan in Kromuji Kran omuntia. So how do you? So why would you then reposition well and let the informal people know understand? Say, Sanyama we know it is not just about you see down my more informal sector to assess, but the way and channel for us to get the money back to reinvest is one of the critical things we need to position you people. Then you can afford to pay.
Who has the responsibility to do that? Who bears that responsibility?
National Tenants Union Ghana is also there to also help with the tenants to do well.
Government is government. Let me be very frank with you. The lazy jack approach of solving problem is not helping the country. Always we want to go to the cheap side of solving problem. What we are saying is, government must sit and think through policies well before they bring it out.
Okay.
You cannot, because of political gymnastics,
okay,
just come out with the policy because you think say for energy, they will come out with something that will not help the Ghanaian people.
Okay.
What I'm saying is or what we are saying is the rent assistance scheme was not a well thought through project.
Okay.
It must benefit the informal sector and Ghanaian as people, not a small group of people.
Okay.
You cannot continue to bring policy that will benefit only 1% and 99% of the population are lacking.
Okay.
It is not a policy.
All right.
That policy is skewed. That policy is biased. That policy cannot be countenanced with. We are saying that President Mahama and the NDC government should do the right thing, do their search, find out policies about housing.
Okay.
Since there are loophole there, problem not here, huge on people's pocket, there must be a way out.
Okay.
There must be a way out, and that they must call a stakeholder meeting. Greater, the Ghana Real Estate Development Association, Greater is there. GREPA is there. Call them to the table and stop the one-way policy think tanks in your offices.
All right.
And bring in policies that does not work for all people.
Mate.
Thank you.
But I say Frederick Opoku, Secretary General, National Tenants Union of Ghana. And you know, AD and Common time check. 13 minutes past the hour of 8. The idea from tenants with issues of informal sector and all that, we hit straight to another issue in front of us. And a question was even asked, concerning the retail business now, foreigners take it over Sisiano. And also, some you be doing como Sisia, and also one of the biggest and hot issues are on my name. Your circle. And I know and I understand the pressure no war mobile phone for no and the issue of foreigners getting into the retail businesses, not to even talk about other markets and other petty trading and all that. But in front of me it's Mr. Benjamin Techi Ado or communication director of Aboso Kind Spare Parts Dealers Association or Tufianum. You have been come afa ayesane we one hot issue to another one. Yini hun komo sisi Ben bibia bokode.
Oh, what the other one?
Nice one. Mijiri say Aboso Kind bibia fine.
Maminchia minua Ziga.
Okay.
And the very Ziga the I met on the Tanipa. Seriously. Spa me penny analysis and contributions. Maminchia we share for what you.
Nice. And market it to say.
Market the na quite I say on far rent no. See
Okay.
I say Mr. Opoku or concerns baby but I say ya bi woni mu ebufu bi woni mu na ni consistency is very too much. So I say o mampanyi can say ye tenant landlord no ye konavi true.
Thank you.
A fact. See you hard dying. O can mampanyi enye so odi intro. Ba Mr. Opoku go nya abotre na o spend name yi. O can we are not about trial can say inconsistency do so do. E am no nka say o genuine concern but o nya say obi tie chema kasi bia o agenda bi no pursuing. So I say now obi ababi twemu 4 years. Ono kwa montimi anye de this for 8 months now opese o wotimi ayi side wonyina. We say we be obi bisa wo. Ne ye ni oye sisi yi abani twa at times. Obi say otimi de this at time abana ka ya bone de dada. Oh am first no omo fa leaders na ye leaders no ye man for sem no ye ka yenka the way ye be mess ko mu hu a omoni beji so I say but I say ebufu bi na say I say you see indirectly try to attack this government. That's the fact. Ni omo ye no ebo enyina wo hwe Kojo ebo enyina because ko renti fie na simple na you see and bi wo mo so mo de gi 1 year ka 2 years me fi bia me ko nya odan so man o gi me 1,008 a month o gi me 2 years no be prefie ho no e mat bia me 200 me ono so be 22 years bola me so said later me catch me say me on po bi o ba me oba dia offer dan mame wow. Yes na me bufu na me so me ka ma dwetire no na me so offer me no mta me sika na so de 1,008 a month na so to oju 2 years ke kan ni na bon hwe na se sika na den me ye Bank of Ghana eti ni Mr. Pokumo ye no e boa yen but ohun the way I say ebufu bi as agenda bi no kota no you see this time they should stop those things it's not going to work.
All right.
No, just 2 minutes on this issue. Papa ya semia or na maintenance. President Mahama is on top of issues. He's the president of the state. And you be a question after rent. I know say the rent law ne say you fa dime more than 6 months advance. Till you. The reason why law ne sheshe sa ade ne say 6 months you fa ma if you run say on you. You demand to or de beto ho. Initial ne 3 months. It wo de to. Ne say me breso a. Ne say opeso utumia. As a song mame grace period of 3 or 6 months. Na bi pay dan bi. And I knew kwase metramu free. It is a sika na be replace sadem tie de to. Now listen, Papa na ma the solution. What say? As a so be reported. But because of enkofo amon be reported because of say we have a housing deficit. Tie you. Because me call reported here for na me koda. Me be create problem ama me ankasa me ho.
Yeah.
So de bi che. Me na me call report me if you run. Me create problem ama me ko tu call report to if you run was have traffic. Enya adwuma. All right. They make an watch say. The bottom line is say, what say? Your housing deficit 1.8 million according to Ghana Statistical Service. We need to fill this vacuum. To say the president could form here that suggestion no I see affordable house na. Ya create sa na ye dey ban. They make an watch say. Because na me cry me ko hard an. Eni ni na yetimi afford sa 6 months 1 year. Me pay 3 years. My family see ka in bulk. Me pay the 6 months bia. Eti my family see ka in bulk ko me fie ran say. Ye tenant ne kwa ye sad. Me boy. Wo kwa wo tenant no. Wo kwa na wo ye sad ne say wo kotua more than that. Because what dia obeje and no obenye. E dan ne bi ni ho.
All right. Meba.
So
man come back.
But I say, oh,
yeah. It's often known and all that. But the ending Komora Benjamin Tichiado. Sesia market no etisen when it comes to foreigners a retailing. Bebre na say yen timemufu ya so ne amomo sa kwan. Just as we're talking about the tenant issue and all that. I say omono nanka omunimum ran say eni so mu rem. But yen Ghana fu ya ne asamo mo kwan e no mu gurem no mo yes ade no.
My name. Let me say omo ka say Ghana fu na enekre. Na ya na mpempi ne e blame aban. Me maka. O say sabuso kan ya sorry ene na week paper ya tutu store so.
Exactly.
Say ya sorry a na Ghana fu bi enimum ra no. Say I say as head of communication, station bien who mean koye, still bien who mean right. If you go do na kwen nim man say to that deep, say now why a bosses, but go deep here because some of them are ready to read it. The law is there, but they don't understand the law. So say and week year, you start year, Mr. Say me expenditure for say this is the act, no. The act no by 1994. By 1994, you pay for that time, no. Maybe a mobia, Omoko, Motiasu, Yango fa, Omo Crazy, no Motias, Yamichon. The so say, Yafa Bibian to her, Dachi and Chilima. If I dread Bojo, a dready business, investor, and investment, and a petty trading, and a trading, and is so cacao. Now, yeah, the account ceremony, a petty trading, which is the trading aspect. Aha. Your family have been to her. Na the two are that chimchiri mano or motivate so at the abo or mobojo no by 1994. 2013 and on by amendment in a Bay Act 865 2013 session 27-1. Na eka ba hawking ne stationary ne bu ayi ba salon ne barbering shop whatever nyina say oh yeah manfa ni unti be say adwuma bi e man no very clear. And man also can man catch you say meant for only indigenous because indigenous there that means no me no ye na bia omo ye Ghana for ye na be ma ye Ghana for or say citizen because we say awaye betimi abema bu ho a na be ma nya Ghana ni but oba ye Ghana ni into technically no say na betimi protect because oba na ye Ghana ni and na say oba betimi ba Ghana ni be ma o ye Ghana ni a e ma betimi protect betimi say adwuma ni bi into say citizens I will make my say adwuma no na say wonya citizen register with Ghana Investment Promotion Center no register no fa processing na ono emra so ka say obese wo ye retail business call outside the market I say na ye wholesale and supplying but in kakaka no mo ba mako on be supplier na mameka we ye Ghana fo ni bi e ka ho bi me no ka say we Nigeria ni supply ni ma Ghana ni obuso kan 3 years almost with you nika and then me free na me ye wi a me kwakota asem so office 3 solid years almost with you nika already promoting Nigeria for ni bi say almost say omo be say omo stores so that say ebinum ko omo fa so no because we say only time and 90 days so okọ na o keep ni sika no enti omo fa Ghana for ni bi no de nani makọ store no o ko hwe tenant agreement na witness no in Nigeria ni but document there Ghana na akwaje take just say na store in Nigeria but Ghana na dey akwaje emra no so tia on ye chewa you prosecute you and associations no across board previously no they almost need proper data govern say this foreign national say no marketing if you are 1,000 2,000 they don't have it the aban say yate aban committee near the customs immigration police ye the hwan ye the traders ni bi aka ho ye the foreign nationals bi almost group bi aka ho omokwa taxes omokwa na makopem omkopem a boss na intokwasi agitation ohwe 2018 ABC year 2019 ABC year just say ABC abeduta ma yeso ya start ni nya say omuni proper data so ye I say there be me chairman no Henry Ocho Jr. or a new person you buy you take over the association 2 years in yes there be and Henry chairman yen trase na yeso yes science no because ya chire read say all the various associations no heads no o ma ye no metimi aye But yes, you have different use of the same. Let's call these people because Omo association in new tag. Nigeria phone, that's new tag, that's a Nigeria Union Traders Association Ghana. I also can part a session on one. Yeah, from so look, Momra, and your trans say. The way I'm more invading a market, is getting out of hand because it's getting too much. Then you have tabletop, you table, you have container, you have kiosk, or call Abuso can Jesus connection through farm or kunina all over among quite go home. Now, Amono, Moody will be baha. A man crash says, oh, crab with base business grappa. So to me, fast skilled Ghanaian 20. So form. Now, Mobano base man crappa, I'm a fagana for crappa, Makma cope. No for the crew for. Or 7 by 5 years, no call you container man. Or call you table man. No attend. Son of my sister, mom, like you from your mother. Then it's almost spreading. Like I said, no, they were more invading market is getting too much. So what we do is, yeah, when you need to me young. So, but as an association, we should know how many foreign nationals are more marketing. Because yeah, members are more Ghana for more close to 50,000. So we know at least 99.9% of our members. Foreign nationals we don't know. Mododo. It will Monday no to when is the motor stores. Mwanga someone catch them for some to stores because they say checks near hard. Because there's an a hard. The Bayer CEO no Mr. Sam Majid. That's a CEO for Ghana Investment Promotion Center and a Ministry of Trade and Industry, Madam Elizabeth Ajari.
Yeah.
Say any initial no besides say na mo data is saying
You to me
actually. That was the main concept that he taken last week, and it worked well. So we need a new tag for Nigeria from penny for Nankasa the transit. New tag for almost the brain. I'm 156. I'm more union, union, new tag union of Busokai. You know the transit. So yes, say young Kwape, say young Kodebi. I say I'm for now. Métier, Mebra, no name a bad Brahim.
Yeah.
That did not also engage my Busoka by networking yet. Nekasemono, my Manianji. Say, I say you pay Nigeria for foreigners and asem. Bad. A wrong accession. Nobody has so. I'm not say many retail business or baby you want to call outside the best supply. Yanka say permanent Nigeria for. Nobody could to 1969 Sheikh Shagari time no 82 dear no different and different crowd. Or no politically different from what we are doing. Yeah, they say boju mano. And now Oma might be beside the reason tiao. But media for Debbie America, I always stand by the media. More professionalism is solid. Because they want to know what is happening. It is a war spiritual man, they understand. You need to tag for the tenacity. Yes, you tag. So this is what's happening. The Mankasa country say, Omututum. And I'm somebody there be. It's Monday. It's as a 2 minute good in Semutino. Yet me any rights over to foreign national store.
It's true.
With that proper
channel
no. Until no, yeah, they stay back. And no man before any week before 10 o'clock, no man be out to the store. Near you better say your currents are near your church store near because we need to know. We need to know. And that's an buy no. For the amount for guy be from Nigeria bar. Baba Kakana, former Nuta president, Abuso Kakano, we use a cross protocol and treaties. I said, look, stop that. So, oh, yeah, more now, ma, you move bufu. Say, yang, you get the four, you see, you bufu in there. Now, make us say, Spepers organ and Obiantum for foreign issues here. The whole gun will be able to Spepers. One ability to abandon Hobachino, obey on popular. But we are not ready to do any demonstration. I then say, young Kuala, about 8 months. Now, baby. That is not fair. That's what I say. I did a trial for a long time. But Mr. Sam Majid Catcher say, you be an authority because there's no more authority. It's act, it's under reviewed. It's an authority, yeah. Honey be who. Utie or Mampenny ni statement na my colleague back could be Sam.
Yes.
Because of account Japan say, some minimum capital no $1 million no. But so the bar 500,000.
Yes.
I'm not for a fan a different angle. So, Obabi go a Jumano. We say, me say, you're an investor and you're trading.
Yes.
Trading in the air, you know. You end the confidence in the beton, yeah, fast. But investor there, a long term, and they say future. It all can say, Obi Napono, there be investors, some about Mount Ghana. Musika $1 million, no. be say me chim na aban no to fa half na mo so mo fa half de be betimi anya more investors a obi create more jobs amagana it me can na man for office bia na I'm just doing PR job for the president but o anakasa kan that day no
yes
if you can go to full company for no money nya but o kan ye no they are the same people called me say techi but the only president can say answer no can say there be but but they know a reality ni e kan nya ye petty trading but investor and a business and a investment no and falling under petty trading it you know say oh yeah petty traders o kan wasam no me fa be folly even though the act no e cover ni na but say osaka say because of that time na ye share samra no na emra no akoye a cake binti na say because echo was ne after some by mu no asemra no e dan kakra no parliament be hwe na recommendation be ba no na ahwe agina so ye ni problem okay any problem e yam so because after ni ECOWAS movement no free movement no and a creative problem e was ade no ye nya ne ko translate YouTube Africa for nyina so one you very careful na one communicate ni yanka ni pe bi creative problem so that say memeti hey me ma African countries kakra na Nigeria no a very difficult say Ghana ni on marketing if you kwa Yoruba ni Igbo for kwa ko mo ni share on marketing mpo omo ye Yoruba o ko China for instance Guangzhou ye fe baby Tonton Hotel Yoruba Igbo phone kwa na ho they are sana marketer I want to say that Yoruba phone na ho they will not allow you cross the border be ha oh China omo ho kra yes by Nigeria enye easy sa wo ho
so why did they think say Ahano should be very soft
Miami boss David Kojo Martin tag for no president no o can say bi o say san say although maybe continue o kan o say 2008 year to abayi na government in power enya 49% but olusu power no 2016 president go to second term olusu no say olusu je musa and go to manipulate akase mpene esa so no ntina asumdwe o magana yeto ya benya asumdwe ba no nti amafo na shasa fa ye Ghana for se Ghana de asumdwe wo ho nti obi aba no yede oye ni ope begin o ka matenase later na metene Kojo Martin ta president o ka metenase se me say okay asumdwe ntra ne benya asumdwe ntra oko Nigeria electricity a big problem most of all nyina no electricity to mo hawo so light no very constant most of them will go back and isika no the way a sombo o Nigeria no e sombo omunye sika no do kom kroma isika kese pa inside ni nyana ma omunya migrate de e bagana na mo ba no so no e say proper checks enye adwument no omotimi penetrate your market system no but let me say this not all foreign nationals a bit my pamo free marketing that one there mean jaha I mean din tron Ghana for we maintain some of them because we have just about 30 years even though the law is there law no work clear now Kojo do am no now you foreign national we just 30 years now you the one they pay A2 no it doesn't make sense sometimes but we told them say ala chamate time no form a committee no or maybe mo amnesty
okay
ala ko pass asebi mo afinya kwan so baby so ho no kan fanye wholesale
okay
enti ma ebi mo amnesty aboso kan so amnesty ye ma ibu so amnesty a ye listen aba
okay
I dey address say these are the people mo amnesty no enti no you are going to work on it so that say esan say ultimi kasa omu nyina ko at the same time so let's use the old ones na ye nimu omo na omo de omo ye ni omo nya problem da basabasi bi omo bu omo no let's use them to get the new ones no out of the market and omo person ba no so the be omo ultimi ye de omo timi mba omo jitumu because omo protect omo interest and omo integrity because new ones say ba ni nyina influx no very scary I was say me call no na you do 30,000 now close to 50,000 say unemployment rate no we are trying to cut AB free government chest say another market is omo go so ye and say go for nya timi market ni nyina na be the union no na we school but so ye business and Kojo ati and security ye na e bia na dada for ni nu e bia na mo bi so person odi na bi ba wonya party be so dey ba be so so kan ya o ko tra akoye o ho no be kasi sana na tachi mu kuntokwa wi sana afese na affect me o sana tie say ye kwa na an fa ofi a an kauda na o say ye na yi na eba na o say ye bepem a bo say wusu etine say da bi me enso ane nne no chene konya issues
okay enya dia ye gidigidi bia sa people should not take it say tension be
debi kwajo aban craft for me tax force
okay
I was saying kwa omu kuntokwa ye dia otu de kwasi ni ohun ye se na ma bi ye tobe no ono ye du no hono no wakwaso recalcitrant o say that for no so bu ha o kan ko kusasem I say o kan ko so na say bi dem say ya ma uti mo hyehyɛ it was Fred guy bi if zogo jashi buy o she patakani buy no Nigeria say na konta no na ne yire gane ni guy ni buy ni buefu o be kuntokwa na ono ofi boko na say na ne bra ne e friend say ayarga so ono ba ayarga o ka say bisa na tina mo achi na obi friend France techi bra me buy na o gusu ye na say also wo fa ne obrane ayasa ga so unu no obisu mo unu no obisu nim no unim ko bisa mase ye be ka kiro one president that transfer the edin commander ko bisa president majo mama bomidi kire ko bisa chief bomidi kire no they will tell you say that boy nobody should touch him they no keka no aye adwuma na ye mafo ne defend wo mo ye fa sare no to nchen ye na me ye me phone na me ye me phone na me ye call back na me say generative call no back no no nkasa obi hu bia me so me free ba na fe de won say wajo na me say unim obi so etine na mani aso so ye ho me go me say me ye kwapem me fe di ko me kwapem me ye no mo say kwapem for the enche da nyi gidigidi sa ba me na amafofo say bia mani so ye shinti no na amafo hu me ye say me ye bia mo fiti ye me ye kwapem but me ye kwapem 100% bibi to me a me busu afọ no hwan ba yi me nyama de bi na me so me ho and say wo ban na asam ne fa ho no be so ho because nyo wo ye no e betimi ama busu ka fo nya so bia to no storm mu hwan be lusu aban be lusu because say 2 years storm for 1 week na e be nya better solution concern this na we be ye ba ye ndu ho ye nti won kana ntu pe be ngina o na hu peche no abafo no bibia ko so smooth because anya ye de padlocks ko to obi storm debi yetimi nye okay. Because these foreign nationals no you sack a Nigerian from Ghana ne waja yenkrofo no mani nkete Chinese for no ha the Chinese for no ha that means we are not being fair so I say na dem akwa yes say adwuma no say Chinese for no mo borrow market ni mo ono magister no oboso kan yo but wakọ no wakọ ni mo China no the same factory company na no mo yi rep aba no mo yi ziga say ko na medidema be supply no ofi China ba won chen ebe ka confuse say obi ma discount into man nye ne ma no fa mbere o into wo de na ba no medim de aba no so wonje because ya ma no a concession into ne age na ne ma na mde be go no egu ho sa na mo de into mo na aboso ka say wo na marketing za mi ho aso mo ho na be fa ne ma no na chi say bosia na yakobo bank no e de be fa ne ma no e mo yeso ana ni bia me ko for feature na buy ne ma no half go ho mo bia mfa yes na mishia again na mko ni mo no ho mishia na boso kan last week no na marketing nim yes mishia me so ni mo no aso ni mi opetene nsa also ni mi na me say ya mo tum sisi wana na me yi me bene ne picture de kire no o say yeah oba pe customers no enti ono so ye baby e say your market no almost say no
how are you going to solve that your fancy mo be solve the same
the be solve say
critical
the be solve say e say hwe kwan a I don't know but a good question mo but hu ni nyina gira aban ha ba be handle
okay
so I say and aban so timi nka say member because aban hia investors say be ba ni memu so I say also timi stop us ade no
yes
and as one can you now ka say also oye allegation na say oye gidigidi aso ya na amano so image na wo so ye de wo say it's am ade na kwa I dicey
very
scary
from there what can I
know thing scary what I say scary pa o hwe yenuanum na Nigeria utimi nko say Nigeria ni container on Nigeria wo say foreign national utimi nko say ko fa ne ma ne bi direct o just all the fa menua ziga so ye Nigeria the fa so no akoje as a medema Bagana ha odu ne man ba na agent be gina ho no fan direct it says the Ghana for ne dey na ekono ni sade no Ghana mi gimi sika na yesi Ghana for no inema boarding one e crucial partner inema boarding na jafo ne mabofo omuni ndo omkeka na agent ba so be support ne mama we have as support 10 cedis what wow fan 10 cedis on Nigeria no hono no Richard Onyabotre na me clear ho kekara me nko other man 10 cedis no or they go to store no not so on 8 cedis or the supply 10 cedis no or they go to store on 8 cedis so person turn first no ko fanya for the ba we gonna no better on saying obetua rent obetua we obetua GI obetua we on e de no e no munima so mo form munima na wo mutimi ka be 5 mo e be 20 container the man we hear more containers no now so unya more discount na so munima ne de e ba from we really the Nigeria so mo port ones so no percentage near 15% or port or how to clear their goods or fight be rare Benia be rare Ghana was 3% I 18% we so port I say to 55% wa ha we interest rate I 30 to 40% on interest rate less than 20% Cote d'Ivoire interest rate 7.5%. Can you compare them? Nigeria they have money on bank rate on bank interest rate on bank less than 20% too. Cote d'Ivoire 7.5%. Ghana 30 to 40%. And a percentage you support also 55, need 15%. So you can never compete with them. That's the reason also minimum boy there. And you say so omo pa, omo free marketing no, omo from marketing ma. No mo hwe say. Na say they were port we issue no. Na say sa TV na e support one no. Up to today, e go support one no. Sa de nia e free one na. Se Ghana minimum boy MF wa.
Okay. I get you, pa. It is here. I can say there. What's the way forward now? My dance is here. What is happening?
Yeah, mom 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, mom 2 weeks. 2 weeks. You know, as one. Yeah, mom road map be she follow.
Okay.
Until 2 weeks in this one. You know, met transibium.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, pay for best transit.
Okay.
Now you say still no, near cano and koya. They will take action again. That one you are going to take action, kasa.
Okay.
Near Ghana for a buying and kasa base every man.
Okay.
But nobody is ready to do any demonstration now.
Okay.
That one there for fact.
Exactly.
On the you'll be here for next year, but now they no demonstration.
Nobody will do that.
No, not at all.
All right. Right, Techi. Yeah, that's it.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's shop. Yeah, that's it. Benjamin Techi Ado. And I know Eddie Communications Director Emma Abosu Kind Spare Parts Dealers Association. And you know Eddie Nkomo foreigners are omura retail businesses when it comes to Ghana. And you know Eddie Nkomo 41 minutes past the hour of 8. Yanko na mene Kayepko. Group of companies for ending common na fi yenhwe de ekwe na fi doc activated charcoal so at the Zigestake so abre evangelist Abel Kankan Bwedu from Ashanti Achim of Fwase. So good morning, Mr. It's only Ghana here that Abuchi go feel get dollar whilst Ghana man go struggle before getting the dollar or no so nedia or de ebaye and no and then teacher Kojo Tepa Michel teacher Bibia Bokode. So surely what goes around comes around. One day the NEC will suffer the same fate and nobody should complain. I don't understand why the IGP arrested someone who criticized the police institution for showing bias in the Akutia by-election. Who will prove now? What has happened to the tax who shot at the vehicle of the IGP? They are walking free and the IGP is promising them police recruitment. Ralph, who attacked and assaulted the nurse at the Rich Hospital, is also working free. Ghana is now a banana republic. Greetings to Dr. Baumianabo, Eric Nana Ajiman, Prempep MP for Hanfa North, and then Chairman of the Kwame Apia Kuka, and then JFK, and also the nearby Massa Wood, and I face to teacher constitution Mudinina. Making kind right after ye ne Kayep Kufo Edi and Komo. Now Kayep Kufo de what your man now de asem. Me se cars ne de me kwa jibi cars papa efi Japan and afisa kwentu hu nsem de enche omdem beko Dubai enti no enya de me ha me ho kra enti process ni nyina no me da na mada omo check bibia ma me eno na Kayep Kufo edi hu enkomo anaso mo di hu dwuma yie pa ya be di nkomo ye wie pe na fi de doc activated charcoal de Zigestake no so atwaso amai penfo me chamu bia bokode
Ejo so chairman.
Kayep ko boss ho ye.
Nyame adom ne ho ye pa.
The radio say weekend is ko ye mama.
Ko ye my pa.
Nice one. Na Kayep ko fo adwumayfo ina obi a ho ye.
Adom adwuma pa ne mmɔden bɔ a yɛbɔ nti nyankopɔn so so ɛhyira yɛ
yɛde awurade ase adwuma kɔ so a ɛne yɛni agye nti no yɛnkɔ ɔmo nte Kayepkofoɔ nka no yɛka sɛ Kayepko group of companies anaasɛ Kayepkofoɔ a moyɛ deɛn bɔ yɛ nkɔmmɔ na afei yɛntie mu
yo meda ase ansa na no yɛbɛkyea atiefoɔ nyinaa anɔpa yi ma obibiaa akɔ aba ma ɛba dwumadie so deɛ di kan Kayepko Ventures dwumadie ni sɛ deɛ n'ani so adi hu no anaa ne da yɛ so sɛ obɛtu kwan no anaa sɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ofi amonɔne ba Ghana na ofi Ghana ɛkɔ amonɔne saa nkurɔfoɔ no ɛna ɛnɛ yɛne ɔbɛkasa ansa na no ma memfa nɔmba no ɛnto dwa deɛ wate yɛn ka na no wantimi amfa nɔmba no yie no ɛnɛ ɔmfa nɔmba no yɛ nɔmba no yɛ 0556 735422 0556 735422 ɛna yɛwɔ 0556 702834 0556 702834 yɛ nɔmba a yɛdedi dwuma no mɛsrɛ sɛ ebia nɔmba foforɔ biara ɛfrɛ sɛ ofi Kayepko aso ya ɛnyɛ saa na tie yɛ nɔmba yɛdedi dwuma no yɛnkɔ ne sɛ ɛnɛ woyɛ mason ni woyɛ carpenter ni woyɛ plumber steel bender driver kyɛsɛ nsano dwuma obi wɔ hɔ a ayifo sliding door for ne ɔmo keka ho cleaner akwanya bɛda hɔ sisiɛ ama sɛ bra yɛ office na bɛfa forms sisiɛ ana sɛ free na ɛkɔ bɛfa forms yɛne wo kasa da bia ya me kasa o ka gumu bebre na me wɔ ha ana sɛ me de wo kwa Ghana ewiase afa na nyina Kayepko yɛbɛtimi de wakɔ na mmom mprempren no Serbia ɛne yɛwɔ adwuma ɛwɔ hɔ ɛna yɛbɛtimi de wakɔ Dubai mprempren apart from Dubai ne so no Arab country bia ne hɔ a yɛde obi kɔ utie yɛn a na watie ne yie ebi mu fra ɛna wobɛtimi de yakɔ Saudi no ha mesra yɛn kɔ hɔ yɛn yɛ UK ɛna Korea Japan Dubai ɛne mprempren ya ofra yɛn a yɛno ɛbɛdi hu nsawoso ɛnhyehyɛ bia ɛsɛsi yɛn no yɛ no yɛno bɛyɛ wobɛyɛ so yɛ forms 2000 Ghana cedi utua 2000 Ghana cedi a agis ubetua sika agis visa aba antini atue yedin amanfo na ne amanfo de frɛ visa before payment ɛno na kyerɛ Kayepko Ventures yɛmra ne no visa before payment eti yegusu America mema menua no so de ye location no atudwa ye chia Ghana fo nyina
ɔmjo so
Kayepko Ventures yaso ye mienu baako Kumasi ana baako wɔ Nkran Kumasi ne wɔ Oshim Hotel Junction ana Nkran ne so yɛwɔ Anya Market Deeper Life Junction the number ne yɛ 0556 735 422 0556 735 422 ana 0556 702 834 0556 702 834 the back Kayepko Ventures are travel ade bi afa akwantu ho bia se mpo pe document bi apeso de tu kwan a wo be se bia tu mo ye kuyokuyo mo ye individual mo ye abusua na be se mo tu kwan ko se bia Canada UK Belgium se Spain se France se mpo se Australia na be so akọ no wo be so akọ for visit wo be so akọ for visit wo be so akọ for family union na Kayepko Ventures and I say mpo area wo be so tu kwan but o documents are wo no obasi ye boa wa obetima by office documents bia ohia bia person de boa ma akwantu no ekoso bia no wodo ani kire Kayepko Ventures aya so ye wo Accra ana Kumasi Anya Market Deeper Life Junction na Accra ana Kumasi Oshim Hotel Junction oda free number ne 0556 735 422 0556 735 422 and 0556 702 834 0556 702-834. Yes, I quent you be our person to be a for any check, Yepco Ventures. Says Serbia, Juma Nebus into no, O person or cost Serbia. You hear no sort of 2,000 Ghana cedis. Now the passport. Only passport, I dear bra. But fear form no near no one share, near more near your passport amount. Near phone to crime. Baby so could be about Juman Kwan dear for the Chile, Yepco Ventures, then found cost Serbia. Yes, for our passport, never 2,000 Ghana cedis. The Fabre office. Yes, the office no Accra. And a Kumasi. Accra near Anya Market, Deeper Life Junction. Kumasi Oshim Hotel Junction. Unya drew Accra, so do any chile Pukiasi. Ufia was Pukiasi, also be so Anya Market, Deeper Life Junction. Ufi Kumasi, so one move free northern side of Ghana. Mufu Muninchire Kumasi. Oshim Hotel Junction. Anyone move free southern part of Ghana, so move from an inch Anya Market, Deeper Life Junction. Say, poor fucker, and also be draw no free number. Your number near 0556 735 422 and 0556 702 834. Yes, I are going to Munsem Bia for any check, Kepco Ventures. Over so to Quanco, I'm on a I am on any Bia, say, yeah, Juma, say, yes, school, say, yeah, for visits Bia for any check, Kepco Ventures. What are phrase 0556 735 422 and 0556 702 834.
Yo, that's in your na Juma pa wabona no payama yen so. Yan kwani say a Juma Kayepco Ventures ya de abano. Yan ma say ya be yen jijijisika na ye jai akọ ye de be som of my Ghana nyame adom menua be ma awo ho say dollar no aba fom kakra entna mani mpegya nkọ soro ansa no abefa fom na ya brochire na ye ka ho nkomo no sabi ye nkọ kumase ana ye nkọ tamale ye kọ abrochire dollar na ba fom no ma ho ya ha se de be ya yes wow no ma ho ya ha no aba from ne niam tete tutu na ba kakra temi
o de sa
be wa se na kwaye ba ko ni bi na fe o ka se ya temi amfa anko
yenko sesia
mesraw o wo ha sesia ya the far forms 2000 Ghana cedi Kayepco Ventures de hia se particular se be bisa no o de be man ye do be ko ache unya be far form ache ewo ye nchen 3 months pepepe enyama beto na kwa
Kayepco mo kanokre pa de mepe wo mo ho no bibia muntumi nya no mo so muntumi nya
dabi
nya fe ne ba bedwa ye no bia Dubai ne yekwa yenko Oman yenko Riyadh yenko de akadia yesi Dubai ne yekwa ye ne meju sika so se wo de ko de artifact kan ba ye be hesi betumi de wakwa na de chan be tran de saka chese sa ne ye ne sa
tie de ye wono na ya kirew ye number no
bonama ne bio ne
ye 0556 73 54 22 0556
okay
73 54 22
okay
and 0556
okay
70 28
okay
34
okay
0556 70 28 34
okay
your number emienu bia obefre bia no ebeba apart from number we mienu
bia ma
number fofora emfre na enipa bone for adults
o ma tie o mu ni say jiska ma wo tu kwan bu ho no o fresh him o mu tie no mu fresh sim sisi a
ene
wa Kayepco ye ni efre o say ye ko Dubai itu o fesu kan em rode say ni emumu ye be bia ma
obwa
odada
ye pese ye ko Belgrade ekudi holiday Serbia ene na chese moji visa ni wie kran sana modimi
yes
modie yo ti say ayi mudie ni bi
ya de pa bia say holiday say de opportunity bia ya de ya give visa wie answer na payment
na say for say bia we also pay documents Obono person no to kan documents bi ahia bi abra ye be boa documents bi apart from A to Z e bi bet na say e bi o SOP or introduction letter wo buy office
ye beba
akwa bi fra me a so no de oni passport am so man how onni bi abra enya de o passport nko a onni bi abra
ye be hye bibia
sanse ya kwantuo ho adwuma de ne ye di ntino de fa kwantuo ho bia kayebko
yeah, that's a pa. Kayepko for any normal 18 common 54 minutes past the hour of 8 a.m. Now, Che Pam, some can show say, Uguswa, and no 18 and so when it comes to a entire pam and the fashion, the best tailor, I mean, in town, and I make kind of one so much on the Che Pam and one some I make catch on and until what we hear a entire papa design papa. Now be send be fit to no be able to ampa atare ehye we kwakuya atare ehye we de koyie pa no na eye tie pam wasam na make sure so ukohonom na woni no ekudin san so no hwema de depo ni se wo frɛ no se chei bra na be susu mu office be susu mu fie be susu mu bia me wo bia na ofaka aba na oba be susu na ma style bia wo pe bia no apeso ye ma obia obetimi aya ma the location no de nya ira kwan kra owo awoshi market honom na owo sa so na hwehwe no telephone so 020 683 7738 020 683 7738 now oni chepam endi enkomo chepam or say or your customer or custom tailoring ohun asem na me no kan na sa so na on ka heat patch some men can show say pains no adults winti na wonno my tablet in pacho ja tablet no nom na painkiller bebre we enye ebe praw ebe kun jai bottle no so we use for your muscles no for arthritis no menstrual cramps ni nyina no jai na koto patch ni bi ahon ka heat patch no tobi na fatare baby ya wo ya no so what the tare so a bibia ebe ye fine was no pain in 2025 and beyond and into no can when na ko shops na ko tobi na fa patch no etare baby ya wo ya no so enye eduro bibirebe na obenum no ene beboa Accra your origin chemist Art Farmer DM Sphere Sap Health Kumase Danny Farmer Alpha Dew Panacea Pharmacy Kofrodia Gapson Pharmacy Eastern Chemist Tamale Malarigo Pharmacy Takrade Ebuakwa Pharmacy and Avesu Knock Chemist and one person we regional distributors and so no Epacho 0599 802297 and that's 0248 509003 and that's 0536 645 334 ahonka heat patch or se feel heat no mame nko na fe me ne ziga endi enkomos get so use phone mesimo phone microphone mame na yen share from there but answer na no Masawood from Bantama Kumase Masawood me sure say weekend ye koyie ma we koyie ma wa mente wonka Masawood mente wonka or say if declaring state of emergency is the only solution to end galamsey when the NDC were in opposition, what has changed now that they are in power? Governance is a serious business. Regards to Sampine National Affairs Vice Chairman, hopeful, and then Dr. Baumia still maintained. And that takes me to a Doc activated charcoal bringing us a Zika stick. Right after Zika stick, you hear pet na yene Ura Mahmoud Kabori or your spokesperson, the Land and Natural Resource Minister Ura Amabwa Babetina for your din komo regards to anti-galamsey issues and so all the concerns that have been raised during the media encounter and what is really happening with anti-galamsey task force and Cobra and rivers no moko ho nyina no be di ho komo ene anopa nyina ziga bibia boko de nice. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Okay. Yamko any man.
Yes. Yeah, you know my Ghana.
Yeah.
Na ye nua panyin a ye ne twetwe nkomo sisi ano. Ura de ne twetwe nkomo sisi ai. Techimensa. Yes. In fact Techiado. Waka asma manato makoma so pa. Say issue is here by no. Ye mu bi ne ente ase. So de bia ye ka say foreigners no omo no ma de bo na fosene ye local traders no enuti na bia because out of greediness eti na bia sometimes more actors. I remember last week ye criticized this story you open the large amount of fortune o madwene na me hu beti asem no mu yi pa But you, I would say, you were ECOWAS protocol. That ECOWAS protocol was passed by the ECOWAS Commission, which is the ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja. The BIA free trade and free movement. She said, we are member state of ECOWAS. And my whole ma 16 countries in which we call Bebia Kokudija. The American watch say, Eye de ope, Bibia Pesa Wibia. But 16 countries no, Ubia a sovereign state. Ubia din hoso. It is a Uridi Emrane clear, ye pa. Emrane does not supersede and I said drones wo member state no omra. The American watch say, wo member state no omra. Because the framers of the law no into the such way say siye na ya bam ni ya ade ba kwa se ebetia obi kuro so mra sa oman no ono no mra no ebetimi a supersede ye hyehyɛ because we are sovereign state enuti na ye kofa JPEG Act ediaba 2013 GIPC na JPEG Act no kyerɛ sɛ tie ni yo ye say we are foreigner wuntimi nya retailing bodwa table so ewo ha but ubetimi aba be ye wholesale just pa make you nemom se o pese obeye bodwa retailing no you have to invest $1 million into that bodwa no na uye bodwa no make sure so obe employ Ghana for me nipa 20 aside what be bodwa no emra na ye clear Sani ehunu wo this country ana. Sani ehunu wo Kumasi Central Market. Sani ehunu wo Adum. Sani ehunu magazine. Sani ehunu Mokola ne Abosokai. Enyo nu ne yehunu. De make na wacha se. Hwe. Ghana nkoa ne omanya. Se ya tena ho ama. It looks like yankoa na aba West Africa hasia. We become second fiddle and as slaves in our own country to foreigners. And it is clear. Because Buhari is part of ECOWAS protocol. Nigeria, only a member state of ECOWAS. But 2019, Buhari, close to the border, say, Omo biamba mewura, your friend say Nigeria. Adentina was so more biambe run Nigeria. Was say ye bedi bronya. August mo September, August. And no close to border no. Was say me pese obiade emo ebe run Nigeria. Me pese me obiade food bi aye ton bi on Nigeria in the high quantity ebe run ho. Me pese Nigeria for nye sika. That is their law. The reason why in the ECOWAS Parliament, Obantimian Sanshi Buhari in the severe punishment, and they say, and they are sovereign states to protect their citizens. It will Ghana Omra and say, your law is to make sure say obinya retailing. And this law was enacted in Parliament. Parliamentarians say, Parliamentarians say, the Parliament make laws to demand the law enforcement agencies to implement the law, to enforce the law. Then the sector minister and the task force and the law enforcement agencies no near push it forward. I didn't yet hanuma sad you see CDBA. Say issue where can was me. You best about the card next year because the new man say blaster winning match pet. You will forget it. Next year by this time, you best have a car because your purchasing season, you baby di Christmas. Good afoni yesika. It ye can say no, ya nye careful Nigeria for the beji sikeni na they will patriate you to Nigeria. Nesika ne kaha ni enko foni yesika. The American watch say, she, only say CD basun. Tabana Ghana movies ne. Africa movies ni boom or this country but now CD was me papa me papa no charge o Nigeria me papa charge o Nigeria na uko Nigeria eyi Onitsha idimota Lagos obi a wo ye Ghana ni a wudi dwa bia obi apa asemo esi ameke busi obi a okọ Nigeria bia wo bia wo ye adwuma o Nigeria oto ade o Nigeria bia no okọ Nigeria marketer ye omukọ backstage foreigner bia o Nigeria. For example, say kebia over circle hasia mo amoya indigenous no anase nationals no mo na ye mob front row stores we a foreigner obekọ back sade to odicha baby eton lace nyonyora wo call no ma ne kase ate se ahakosi makola foreigners na agu akire ene Nigeria fogwa omulo no omumra no wo de ne sei wo so de ne sei edi kwaso bi be retailing adentin yete ha na Nigeria for sam law no Nigeria ni sisi stores wo cycle ha sei na stores wo ho ni na ya Nigeria for na only I don't get it. Are we saying say yetimi protect my Ghana for nya stores ni bia she stores o masisi wo cycle police station. Have you been there recently? Or you're close to all the path. Baby, I need a funny now. You're close to police station. Phone stores are all in Nigerians. All more repair phones Nigerians. Retail is Nigerians. How? Meanwhile, call no chroma. Or backstage. OBS store. Or making sure so I remember Nigerians because they are paying huge sums of money. But we have the sector minister in this country. What are they doing? Yes, stores were marketer. The work and housing minister. One the sector minister. And then they saw committee bobo ye. Ghana Standard Authority. Papa bi Kessben near ye program the digest. Papa bi Kessben I was shocked. Traders good to form penny for back. What say? Ziga. But you mo pa mo checks. We are not afraid of competition. Let them not do the retailing. So what say Romo Banom the Baba Baje 1 Ghana city. Near 20 cities. We don't care. But the point in say Ghana Standard Authority at Traho, I'm a foreigner sibu this country. Sure. Ayi earphone. O de koto to Nigeria for GNP. 1 month na sa 3 weeks na ba kwase. But Ghana for GNP more non tesa. Status prayer de bia meka ho asemi foreigners na deba de bia box no tia na yet box no so ne boro so kwa na ekoso nobody is talking about it. Standard Authority yetia na foreigners about this country. If you talk about the retailing, it is not only meant for Nigerians alone but all foreigners. China for my visa waiver, but we give them the visa for them to come to this country to dictate for us. Okay. No one second D. A Chinese near Wafa Ghana for Eduma. Na labor and employment minister to ho. Ne send panu yempianeka. Na country ako come for about 8 months. Wo kwa Chinese ni wo koja no de second after the truth. Ye treating wo breaking news. Na nobody obia ankasa. Na foreigners has taken over the country. So we read the cadente publicity in Cote d'Ivoire. Yaka cadente no today they said the hunu no Cote d'Ivoire. But you see, a good publicity about the cadente of Cote d'Ivoire. Ama we are foreigner na Korea Cote d'Ivoire na yam shisho. So who di bone we are foreigner who do Cote d'Ivoire. You tread cautiously. It is all like that in this country. Okay. What you want kasa umem no about be slave. What you want kasa umem na uye insecurity ababecho. Okay. And now Abidjan, Nigeria, are you foreign and to land? Okay. The American watch I say today and conform the land to create kingdom that they want. Me say this country ni amena hwe so. Okay. Ye de ani koto to ye security so. And the ani koto to.
Yeah, that's a pa. Ziga stick kababa.
Kababa na. And mama the dock activated charcoal.
Quick one after you.
Na dock activated charcoal pardon. Yes, say. Wobia obotafno pa. wo boafo wo saa obi wo ho no ma onum nsu ado papa na ne boafo no. But the best therapy so they say udanya ne ya the first thing you have to do is to take water. But obi onum nsu ado pa na ne bofo no. Obi onum nsu no bebre a na ne bofo no. Obi di anwa na ne bofo no. Obi didi wie onante na ne bofo no. Didi wie okasa ya na ne bofo no. O ha to atwa. We hear doc activated charcoal powder. E ye problem bi na aba yam. Obe detoxicate problem no. Na a flashing na out na ko. O di food poison. Wako hospital. Oko any food poison ya twi de afru mu hia doc na pepa bibia de afru wa hwe a ye de sa na asa wo yam noma gas na abegina wo ye indigestion wo hia doc activated charcoal powder na doc activated charcoal powder no ema osa obi a osa wo so bia no ebetu ase e de ama stomach upset ye fu ye de bia wo so bia no wo hia doc activated charcoal powder. Doc activated charcoal powder heartburns susu no nom ya no ma yibi wa hwe be kwa kofa problem dia bro. We have doc activated charcoal powder. And 100% natural. Eti no no ye nene esa esiesiu. Doc activated charcoal powder. And konen konkutua 5,000 Ghana cedis. So ko ye teeth whitening. For doc activated charcoal powder, what you choose here we. Odi bitimi dia bo brush him. The brush be bom na dia twi se nice fita 3 days. Fita be ma wonu so aye hwam. E doc activated charcoal powder. Na uko kumase a Edia pharmacy. Love Life pharmacy. Lancer chemist and a Colonac pharmacy ubenya biato sansuna nana boache e wotema Equus pharmacy wa shaman amen sa watakrade with the man pharmacy wa shaman Delight pharmacy enso okofrodia ni na ubenya biato ho and all the pharmacies eno no wo kashi drug lane any herbal shop biano ubenya doc activated charcoal powder any biato gas ejina yem no yanko bobo doc ni ncp esita doc activated charcoal powder. And the ADSM,
10 minutes past the hour of 9. Tomala Mankran say the excellence performance of JDM and the NDC in government. The best thing for Ghanaians to do now is to allow the NDC to rule forever. The confused, destructive elephant party should never be allowed anywhere near power because of the unprecedented hardship, tyranny, and then corruption during the last 8 years. And no Nidia or the Ebaye and no. 11 minutes past the hour of 9. Sinamidi Kankan, you are dealing with one of the major aspects is here when it comes to the media encounter with the president. We'll continue giving you follow-ups on the other ones. But I told you, sir, on the front page of Daily Guide graphic today, I saw anti-Galamsey task force, Pages and Cobra, Bonsa Rivers, 300 structures destroyed, equipment seized. That is on the, I think, page 13 of the Daily Graphic. And indeed, Nema making Kawahano, it tells me, sir, and Nema Akosu Yepa, almost about 390 makeshift structures were burnt on the ground, 103 champagne machines were destroyed, 17 pumping machines seized, and more than 1,000 illegal miners forced to flee. Sa Bruno and so on. It is coming from the task force now. Any blue water guards to dismantle Galamsey issues. But I did ask one pertinent question, answer. Mampenyi Edema has taken us to be discussing some of these things. The issue of state of the emergency or state of emergency, with regards to Galamsey. Yenshe on TV, Kessben 92.9 face. Kessben TV, and I saw a radio so the on 92.9 Nafi Yembra back. Mahmoud Kabori Atenase, spokesperson the Land and Natural Resource Minister Amabua Atenase. Yababidin komo yepa. But me yenshe na face yenti the question and I face to answer on Mampenyi Ademai regards to state of emergency when it comes to Galamsey in this country.
In your remarks, you did touch on the issue of mining, and I want to commend your government with the achievements you chalked. But recently, we heard that Ghana Water Company is proposing almost about 280% increment in tariffs. One of the major reasons they raised has to do with Galamsey and how it is affecting them to get us good or potable water. In this way, I would want to ask, Mr. President, would you then consider the argument that we should have the state of emergency when it comes to illegal mining? Thank you.
The various, we do occasional review of tariffs. And when these tariffs are about to be reviewed, proposals are requested from the utility organizations. And so I noted that recently Ghana Water presented their proposal, and Electricity Company of Ghana also presented their proposal. It doesn't mean that the proposal they present is what is going to be implemented. We have the regulator, which is the PURC, that looks at all the factors, including the exchange rates, including the cost of production and all that, before they determine what increase in tariff is allowed. And so the fact that you hear that water company says they're going to increase by 200 and something percent does not necessarily mean that PURC is going to allow them to do that. There was also a question that was tied to water, but it also had to do with Galamsey. It says that the justification for water company asking for such a steep increase was because of the cost of treating the water. And I answered it in terms of the tariff, but not in terms of the Galamsey in the water. But in my statement, I indicated that we just started with the Blue River Guards. We're training more and more of them. These are long expanses of water bodies. And so far, those we've trained are 600 and something. They are not enough to cover even the length of the Ankobra. And so as we recruit and deploy, because they patrol the water bodies, if they see any Shamfam machine on the water body, they seize it and we burn it, we destroy it. And so I gave you the number of Shamfam machines we have seized and destroyed. As we continue to increase the numbers of these Blue River Guards, I'm sure that we'll be able to cover the tunnel, we'll be able to cover the prow, we'll be able to cover the Ankobra. And we hope that then we will start seeing, some reduction in the turbidity of the water. But even more than those on the water bodies, the destruction is the forest reserves. Because the rivers take their catchment areas from the water reserve. So if you destroy, from the forest reserve, if you destroy the forest reserve, the river or the stream will dry up, because where it takes its water source will no longer exist. And so that's why at the beginning of the struggle I said our focus is going to be on the water bodies and the forest reserves, and then we can stretch out to other areas. So as we train more Blue River Water Guards, we would see an improvement in the turbidity levels of the waters. I've been reluctant to implement a state of emergency in the Galamsey fight because we've not exhausted the powers we even have without a state of emergency. We have the opportunity to arrest anybody, to confiscate any such thing. There, laws for forest protection and all that give us enough powers to be able to act. Implementing a state of emergency might sound nice, but it should be the last extreme, the last resort. So for now, let's exercise all the powers we have. And if it becomes necessary for a state of emergency, then we'll look at it. It means we have to go to Parliament. The President can't just declare a state of emergency without, going to Parliament, because there's a limit to how long you can maintain that state of emergency. And so I believe that we still have leverage to continue to fight Galamsey without necessarily implementing a state of emergency. It means that we have to delineate the areas where the state of emergency is operational. And if you look at the area where Galamsey is taking place, it covers several districts of our country. And so we would do it if it becomes necessary. But for now, I think that we've given...
All right, 80 minutes past the hour of 9. So, Omanpenyi Emwaya or the Emma when it comes to a state of emergency, when it comes to Galamsey and who and not made the amount of Sia. Medical catch us Right after that, Daily Graphic is reporting the anti-Galamsey task force. Purging and Cobra and Afesu Bonsa River, over 300 structures destroyed and Afesu equipment seized and all that. So it means that President still believes that we've not exhausted the law and need to know if all these ones fails, the Blue River water gas in failure, then state of emergency will be the last straw for us to use. But until then, he believes that you use a kwana ya fasu sisiano because emrano emma kwine. But I understand Mema Kabori Abemu. I want to read this thing from Cadman Atamils. That's another response. Court TV in this one. I TV, Kessben TV, Facebook, Koshe response na Cadman Atamils. The brother of the late Professor John Evans Atamils, former president of this country, on also a tweet concerning the same Galamsey question that was asked. And I feel so this is what he said, and I want to read it. Or can ne X and I said then and I said former Twitter platform. So also do say I refuse to pay for the accolade President Mahama and the NDC is receiving for the city's recovery with my health or life. Call it Galamsey or legal small-scale mining. When bankrolled by politically connected, it is killing us. Hashtag stop Galamsey now. Way Efi Cadman Ata Mills Honum is another follow-up to a question and the response that the president brought on. No, kase ono party say Obama no accolade party enyadia obeye hu adwuma. So that is what you see on your screen. Yedi hu enkomosisi. But Kabori Atena say we just have to exhaust all these platforms na fe ye hu the basic. Kabori morning bi aboko there.
Brako Junior Miadum.
Ase mi hu wache.
Juma no so.
Za.
Ese ufu so do so we ni nyina.
Nice one.
My mama ba so Juma so mudi.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a privilege and thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, that's it. Minister, where?
Yamiadum or Munyan for Emmanuel Lamakofibu doing so well. Fradomo Quadomo, Jumano Nasso. Yes, but when you give it to dedicated hands and focused minds, at the HBR, bold steps, and Orama Kofibu put it in place so that, like he has always stated, we will win this battle for once in our lifetime. It has not been easy. We were not under any illusion, say, but we are determined to win our Queen at all costs. Say Ghana be found to my prefer. So young Kwandia, no be say so or same kwa. Say be try to win any people would no be say kwaya or same kwa. So we are determined to protect the lives of the Ghanaian people at all costs. Now, yes, substitute irresponsible, reckless, and illegal mining practices with legal, sustainable, and responsible mining practices.
Kadbamil say ne X I do the two where I'm making what's your take on that?
Sabi obi anywhere opeso dia woman obi anywhere no boju so say oyi ne beto no manfo. So yes, all of us ne ade fe entina ye nyina ye de betumi bia say betumi atu ade na say esi due nya we bo no entwitwa so betu as kwa Britain declare state of emergency, arresting Crawford. Nipa don't say na betumi arrest him. In this chain alone, we are talking about 4 million people. Do we have any judicial court system and I say prisons facilities everything are holding 4 million people as we speak?
4 million?
Yes.
And I'm saying?
Yes. In that chain alone. And see, I hope here say, "Uba sankra niema ni na de ye okun tia, de ye how the more mine, uba sisana no amana ye faso de more mine." So it's about putting in place strategic measures that will turn our adversities into advantage. Ebini saying, you chase 10,000 people from Abruani crime. Just yesterday, along the 3 days ago, along Nankobra, now we can.
Yeah, that make kind, yeah.
Meanwhile, Richard between the Atoso and Matthew for quite a bit to fin ya bokura, ya bukro, if you do not start, one shot here and this man, this one more tonight, how do you even say we to us here? Now, because I was all pumps and pumping if you quite to you end up solving one problem but creating another. Until Abayini Ura minister say, yen fa the Enkaya no me way so. Yes, the son of man yeshira. One beso through responsible cooperative mining and skills development. Because a dear Bakopa will be a can say Jumani or mine. There is a point of survival for us. My son said, at all costs, people must survive. No? Juma no so mo ye no mo ni nsi echi bankrata bia so nti ase koro no mo bo.
Kabori, I mean before you move on.
Yes.
Ye no ma TV so CC no Kessben TV.
Amanfo
wow.
Kwai breto mu ya.
This is deep forest and almost see at night womb. Are you talking about the Ankobra?
Yes, about 90 structures.
Wow.
Has been bent down. Yes.
Sure.
Nti I mean ya say
I just want to ho.
Yes.
That's where they live.
Nipa a flea is almost 2,000.
Hey, I go. Yes, 2,000.
A down Kubra and TSA quiet near Sam Kubra.
Just structures, you know.
And I mean, yes, say, minim say, then say, drew I quiet fans and joy forces well. But nobody goes to war with the media, with the camera. Nobody does that.
Wow.
And the Nipa nim the or a minister and a pound for you or quiet say,
to what the jack to
yeah. I mean, say, Nipa no here no what dia or so they can say na tonight. So what I say,
this is dangerous.
Auntie, this is what we are doing. Oko anymore. Richard them for so people are belittling the efforts of blue water gas. Man penny catchers say we've not hit our target.
Yes.
Target in this year between in 2,000.
And I just about 600.
Down in fact, actual figure near 980
CC so far.
Say you hit a target of 2,000. You will see wonders in this country. And now what Takwa did put him honorable MC for Takwa. Richard beat with that so on the blue water gas. MC can go with blue water gas on operation. Bench and vans and things. It means I don't know, and yet one structure. There is that trickling down effect there. But I say at every district I hold blue water gas. We are going to establish a 12-member naval base.
Okay.
And the Navy will be there.
Okay.
Giving support to these blue water gas and other security agencies. Now, a permanent team no. I better say so be a what's Amazon. So if you have this permanent team, do you still believe, say, at all costs, I was in a declared state of emergency? And I'm saying, Ghana, no, actually, state of emergency, no, in as much as a sound nice, said the Mampanika, you know, a one advantage, you know, disadvantage, you know, so it's not something you can overlook. Do you know the impact on the economy? Those areas, economy. I mean, look at the mining regions. We have 12 out of 16 mining regions. So if you say
region,
yes. Right? So if you say we should declare state of emergency, it means we are declaring state of emergency in 12 out of 16 regions of Ghana. Do you know what state of emergency comes with? Restricted movement near the Adinina. And about 80% of our country.
Yeah, sure. Because America just for
will be a
4
standstill.
regions.
Yeah. But what I say, it's immediate message to say, you know, I can't any man penny in Yagune. You can't say, you could ever have me a cool. But near my Asha said, dear Guaquam has begun to show positive signs on the wall. Say, just December 2024. Now, Fao Hills, Jimra Extension, Subri, Tano Anya, near Dinginano, not Galamse for Jaboso. Ghana buying through any office agency, and room. And then those things are a thing of the past. Apart from Anya Futu section of the official tablet, I can be for BSA, or Modio and you hear results. I'm not giving them intel, but I'm saying, say, but be a Ghana for my intel, be I say, be because of body honor through intel verification and rapid response no obehu ene kra de sebe achadwe ya wi atene de say Ishirankan Ora Samijamfi and the Ghana Gold Board. Almost say almost so 9 months now a national official tax force. Yes, so I was saying with a halo speak up in and a Ghana Sikabotino of 5 million. I believe this will go a long way to intensify the fight against illegal mining.
Okay, into one share TVCC no clearly
this is the MC for Takwa.
Where MC for Takwa.
And the blue water gas no no.
Oh, okay, into any blue water gas
yes.
one. Okay, or the show blue no.
Yes.
No share jacket to go.
There's another picture you see them playing with him.
Okay.
Recently I was in Takwa with the National Coordinator of Responsible Mining.
Okay.
And in fact the guys are doing fantastic well. I just heard say as a now MPO Honorable Salifu Isa Salifu Taylor Krako to told them be because of Jumadia. I believe in other areas, leadership there can also motivate these young people. Because I dream don't me say a bedroom maybe in the life of the Ghanaian people. Mona mining in Adi almost say so they go with that passion, that patriotism. And we cannot underestimate them. Neither can we belittle their efforts. Rakojo, people should not be despaired. In fact, Orama Kofibwa came to the ministry in February. Give and take, or share and criteria March in over March to date, 6 months. So if in 6 months we've been able to chalk all these successes, we be dear dance say, your Maya home rekakra, the superior policy interventions a digwa kwamuno. Yadi a bit my yield results. Ndra, near chi, your call galamsey operation cosizi near ma, near San the Amagalamseyers, and I the Ama party for, under the leadership of Rama Kofibwa. Even water pumps cry near the end, and they the Akoma Greek ministry.
Okay.
Just 3 days ago, or the Honorable Erekopogu, the Greek minister, made distribution to farmers. Yes, sir. Afimu ina free and my friend irrigation. Women video at the pompe.
And all these ones are coming from.
When you know, she say pa. If because Barbara Cross say when you don't so far, papa, a jano, a morning yasumbi. To a my be penny paddy anymore. To my mufoni yasumbi. And that is the kind of leadership Roy Manolama Kofibwa or offer the Ghanaian people. And I agree with President. And I agree with my minister.
Okay.
Say the fight against this illegal mining, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Openi edua din fi adua na ya chia no. What did that quote no? Enye the decay has fester. Proyana kankan no, ohwaw no, adidie kwachiri. Ehun be hia se ye beto abuase. Se ye mbezi ye bebrabra ni. Na ye mean say for once, in 2 years na galamsey will be a thing of the past there. We must go through gradual healing, where in Yinebino, and then will be consumed. Your education still our call on your yakaka bensem through punitive and law enforcement. No, on one quarter, say, I didn't think I will be quabritum, no nim crata, no near say, your pass as any biamano, your packaging as cooperative for the community. It's so many uncle, I feel what dear to my free quiet and quiet and assume ye, your son, Drian, Yakre, Bubu, no, as your quiet mokina, soon I need tear. Obia no for some pacodo. And Ocean measures they have linkages. It's not as if say Orama Kofibwa te dasi abrawa no ama no krowaso ena of bawe no afo debi because sebe wa anko pamuni panua de wo no o say no. So through punitive and enforcement no you are doing arrest, you are doing offense operations. Oko wanima nipa ni bi wo ho ba bi o won because on TV bi ase and also ye community engagement sensitization and education. We engagement now so many pan alternative. I didn't also when you know that feeding when did home and through cooperative mind or more money miles so no you see more months and through skill development and all of that. What I say? And a year no so say 1 moment to yes can go do more licenses and come more licenses. Beyond that, Obia small scale mining concession by 9 and what to do where you to fun France. You see, you introduce what dear friend medium scale mining licenses. Said the bear, wouldn't you want to be large? No, one who are the abroad, small no a medium one. You see, Africa the Mining and Minerals Act no policy in any act in no. Brakwajo, yen sakraye wo mu say nobody can get a license to mine at whatever level. So one can share engagement na say free kuru no person ko mining no. Into grassroots friends and license regime where we are empowering chief ye man nananom anya hoden soronko no mo ankasa anua binimu kwanya yemfa so ayenye no na meboa akuafo hene wo ho o ma no obinimu. So the era of say obi ni mpanin bi abaje license okotu obi kokko agunu is over.
But Kokobori, the issue has just been say politically. I mean, yeah campaign yeah no to come to power no. President in one of his speeches and in one of the campaign speeches has said, Oba with immediate effects on the state of emergency will have to be done. And then he's looking at almost just about 6 months to see, I mean, these things done and all that. Entinama and Yamani Bibri na no akoye de ayeno.
Opening first of all, no kre. Lady kind. Mean who baby a mampeni akasi in the state of emergency. Mampeni Mahama. No. He said you bet me see galamsey na no see pa. And even assuming without admitting. So what can you impart? And nyama na kwaso anda damre no. Eh nyama na ye nyamransem. Because obi the presidency are too on the line. What catches we nya na nanom ordinary konnwaje. Na sama mpanina da so te so ne akwa report to abra ne say wo party mu mpanifo di omu ye ni o say ye nso say kwaye. No aboye fita duku. No ano so afo be kwa ba say. Ye fita duku sabi. Esa asem no mfa do ho kura. Ono ano so afo abugina pokọ tano nibiri eba. Wase mo party chairman no wa sentiment mu wo wura ntwibu asia ku wontumi no. Wana na kunta mine no se subiri nibiri kwa abretuo no. Enti mampani yenye bibi fa ho. Mampani se obo ane ho so. Mampani no won ko ho won ko ba wondi ba wade no. No mo ko field the report ba no die chinye because no so galamsey no so. Enti ebeduru ba bi clearly na Ghana fo nyina hunu se aban no ano ote so no de. Ade na giri nsem. Enti wonder ne ma sojafo. But today, can same be said about Ora Mahama Bayana? For a government to refer, not based on evidence, based on hearsay, based on allegation. No, say, me am a national organizer, senior officer of my party, you an investigation. Me am a third vice chairman, you an investigation. Me am a MP, you an investigation. It tells you, say, if there is any president that have shown the political will to fight illegal mining, mampanin bia ba wasechire ne sia duasa mienu no wanya kukuduro no wo saa ahofama soronko se obetu kwamboni etu sika kokko ye galamsey ase na o man ni nyina fa etu papa fra. It's none other but Owura John Dramani Mahama. It's none other than na suafo Owura Emmanuel Amakofibua, because the omaye nyina akire say they have put Ghana first. Omo the Ghana na di kan ya emfa ho ne ba bia ofiri amanyoku awo mu na osom awosom. Sa wanye de se na efata na wo ye ho dua buroni wo de wo putie nyina in danger just for your parochial interest. You will not like the government. And to say a few people, or more attack Owura Amakofibua, a few people, or Mujina Kukoma no person Cassatia Mampani Mahama, no move for Yaba Mumpa, can who say, or more interest no has been blocked.
Ora Kadmame was said Kansembi, which is very unique, and I think I keep asking this question, but let's see how we can connect it this time around. Where he states, for instance, to say, these galamseys are bankrolled by politically connected people. And you know what it means is that omwa sebiye pamo mofi eyen remo hono a bigger picture. Some no people are looking forward to say ye betimi ayo mo ho bi ye be yi obi ye be dan bi modi na ye hu name and shame or probably jail these top notch people. So far so dey net saying
so far so very good.
Okay.
I don't be that me catch or no. Based on other citizens allegation on level here. Yaya Monukum and Yabontin,
yes, okay,
are going through vigorous investigation. Based on Yahumoye, Obi to say a politically exposed person like Jamaun to me has gone through a certain investigation. Now, no cry to say, you are drafting this somewhere as soon as the legal year begins, you know, the cancer was here the bone, the bone war, and bram. I dear back quite higher dream. These blanket statements, politically connected persons. Meti I'm politically connected. Be anaminya semwa me for phone frɛ me boss owura ma Kofi Bua boss prosi atimi o na we de Kojo ato ama me am gitum so madifo ensi biem wo wa kyerɛkyerɛ kwampa me mfa so de me ye me nya biem true me political connection bra Kojo woti hoyi na nyame mpangu sɛ woyɛ bibi na ahoɔden wɔ fam no akora mampani ma ama we de onu akumani o mapem wa ha ubetimi abo no bo politically connected so go straight to the point say those politically connected persons no in terms of galamsey why no because me I know more than 6 million politically connected people into who amongst them I know na head no ade ba question head say you go to the operation grounds. Now I got Chimabu no operating machine. When in Pefesa Brante, we ocean and Nimkra Nayasia, a common Ekunu. What is the kind to talk at CFD? Neso by year and work was from another body or then about holding a child. So, how do you look at the color of an excavator and now share the operator and the nim? What you can say, where the Abaye Cabore excavator and now where the Abaye Preko excavator? You can do that. And there was a thorough investigation and untina ama galamsey into kwekwa in terms of the legal aspect the wheel of justice winds very slowly now the year shronko aye foforo kra say in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance, the Custom Division and the Ministry of Transport you see all existing excavator was system no mono ye di kai yen license me basite one mechi excavator na I do not need to question a branch and a watch excavator no all I need to do is to pick the number plate of that excavator my friend you are paying logos or DVLA logos excavator number so and so why they are you checking here I say hey where the carbon wadam for preko dey say preko say agbebego of ntubam me no nam nyina na ora o ma adwuma ya dey na no ya dey yakofa nipa without looking at whether we are party ni na onye party ni ye to so mienu wo mo edu o mo de eba foforo do kra de ye say enye validation before clearance and no you support why you choke because in just 2 months about 1,300 excavator impounded ye nya ba bi kura na Maakye be yi ni say okay port why you choke there ye ko military omo asase bi wo sakomo no potemo mo so ntrofo yi a asema wo mu misa asemu no mati asemu ase so hey my clear excavator overnight after the asemu by the mugase susuro and also me this for of the cases was say the media has a critical role to play as far as the fight against galamsey is concerned. In fact, till this far, Oma Yediometumbia, and I must commend them. But in terms of intel verification, as semi-fast it doesn't take anything from you as a media person to call an official in that ministry and an agency to verify before you put it out there. Media journalism is about credibility. It's about fairness in reportage. Until the kotuho na febe we as we gunu hu fie wi no amount of disclaimer any bit ni apepa sa di money na dia man. Nti no so ya desready a but I believe that tracking and validation system na yen report hono and also be boa mo china we are machine no we are able to know this politically connected there ebi muntimi mo omudi so de bia omudi make case no na aboa mo yetimi atu ade no ase enu ti Ghana fo nya arehemu ora Emmanuel Kofi Bua omompani mama di adwuma na ja no waye krado say he will leave a lasting legacy not legacy to glory for personal glorification a legacy that will inspire hope say you can't one of the countries in Africa and now in the world almost sustainable sourcing of minerals it too good to kwampaso na wiase dwama so nyina beto omodi akukuduro ani akomapa beto it should be Ghana because we will be moving from the era of irresponsible archaic traditional method of mining to a more responsible legal and sustainable one ebeboa mo my Ghana afano ntuma perfra
Mahmoud Kabore yeda se bebre se ye to nsa fra wo ba ye na face
me asumi that pa na no pay me aminu apani amedi na chimi no
okay
Mahmoud Abubakar Sadiq.
Okay.
Mahmoud Abubakar Sadiq. And then Awoda.
Oh, okay.
And then Awoda. And you know, yeah, man, happy birthday. He's been a fantastic supporter, a fantastic mentor. When you say big brothers, you know, they are the first mentors. Especially when Ajano Tia could sit down in the school. He's been very fantastic to us as junior siblings. But we will be member na wonder passion ko nyankopon hira no onte na nim nche no na nakoma so ade nyina no onye fama no.
And from Mamu's big brother, we move on to happy birthday to you, Helena Asabia Bubune. Helena Asabia Bubune, we a fire officer at where Tama regional headquarters. Where if you Kwame Teria, happy birthday to you, Asabia Radin Shroud. And then a happy birthday to you, Mr. Odro Asari, David of Fire Redemption Presby Kukumlimle, with your wife, Mrs. Emilia Asari, and children. Almost say happy birthday to you, Mr. Odro David of Redemption Presby Kukumlimle. And then a happy birthday to you, Madam Veronica Kunedu Frimpong of St. Paul's Cathedral, Asante Mampong, with the entire family. Wishing you a happy birthday. And then a happy birthday to you, Emmanuel Yaka of ICGC Covenant Temple. Ima, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Emmanuel of ICGC Yaka. And then a happy birthday to you, Madame Laurentia of ICGC Covenant Temple. Happy birthday to you, Madame Laurentia. And then a happy birthday to you, Gabriel Gilord Apia. And from the crew of the Punch newspaper, happy birthday to you, Gabriel Radin Shroud. 45 minutes past the hour of the year 9. And I'm the Jimediano ABC.